Hello and welcome to a world where science, technology and health collide. From a single bite of a golgappa that locked a woman's jaw to AI chatbots that can guide your health before you see a doctor. From the ethical dilemmas of designer babies to nutritional rules being turned upside down with a flipped food pyramid. This week we take you to the front lines of the future, where every choice, every discovery and every bite could change your life. I'm Sneha Mordani. This is Health360. Healthcare is changing, and your first medical conversation may no longer start in a clinic. With OpenAI's health-focused ChatGPT, people around the world are turning to AI for symptom guidance, for health education and clarity before they even see a doctor. It doesn't really replace medical professionals, but it's becoming a powerful first step in understanding your health, asking the right questions and making informed choices. Okay, I'm going to help you. You can take any OTC painkiller. You don't have to really check with the doctor. For the first time in history, millions of people can ask this or this for medical advice. No waiting lines, no appointments, no jhamela of queues, waiting for the doctor to come in and help you with your medical problem. With OpenAI's introduction of the new feature ChatGPT Health, getting answers to your frequently asked medical problems or questions is getting easier actually. More customized, more personalized, and more convincing. And that's where things really get complicated. Let's ask the doctors on what they have to say about AI convincing patients on what they have to do for their health.
AI is intended to give confident answers. The second reason majorly is convenience. It is that whatever is available in your pocket, whatever is available in front of you, that is always, much more readily available than, let us say, a doctor's advice.
AI has already changed the way we get access to health information. AI can summarize your medical scans, give you health advice, tell you about what medicines to take. It can be extremely convincing. For many, this makes people believe that they are getting reliable information, because for many across the world, healthcare systems are broken. So getting in their information from artificial intelligence is actually easier, sometimes even empowering. But is that really the case? Remember, health is not just about giving out information. It is about judgment. It is about nuance. And that's where the role of a human, of a real doctor comes in. Isn't it, doctor?
Typically, AI is just responding to a prompt, which is written by someone who's just faced with a problem and using their own language. Now, AI inherently is not trained or even designed to work like a doctor. So there is a context that the answers that it gives many times are inaccurate. It looks at the internet presence of things as its repository of knowledge. And of course, it is known to hallucinate. There are other dimensions which are, it can just cook up answers sometimes.
Those who in fact use AI do not take that with a pinch of salt, as they should really. Healthcare is also one of the world's largest data markets. In India, this market is actually exploding. It's worth $500 billion already. And that's where there are concerns that have been raised as far as privacy and cybersecurity is concerned. The minute you feed data, all the data into your system, where does your privacy then really stand?
So imagine if thousands of citizens are uploading their personal health data on ChatGPT, which very well knows it might get leaked, it might get monetized by the private company. We must realize that this is an irreversible disaster. That more tech you deploy in health, telecom, and tech, you will not be able to do away with it.
People actually already struggle to tell the difference between online misinformation and advice that is given. Random advice which is picked up online. AI raises the stakes here. Remember, the most commonly asked question as far as AI is concerned has got to do with your diet, with your mental health, and all of these things need nuance, need judgment. These things, even self-diagnosis, is what people are really asking AI about, and the fallout for it is for us to see.
It's important to check while the tool or Perplexity or ChatGPT will give you an answer to your question, but that answer needs to be checked. The references that it gives needs to be checked. Many times you will see the references don't exist, the references are incorrect. So this is very important that you need to check this so that you're not getting misinformation. People tend to believe it sort of blindly, and that is wrong.
Healthcare has rules, ethical boundaries, licenses. Where does artificial intelligence then stand? AI can actually be a powerful companion only if you use it as a tool, not as a complete guide. AI can explain health, but not live with the consequences. That part is still human. Let's consider some figures. More than 40 million people worldwide are asking about their health conditions, discussing their health with ChatGPT. Over 200 million people all over the world at least once a week consult their AI doctors. What may sound reasonable could actually be harming you in the longer run because that information and the answer lacks context, something that a human can quickly catch. Science is no longer just curing disease. It is starting to shape human life even before birth. With advances in genetic engineering and DNA selection, the idea of designer babies has moved from sci-fi to real-world debate. From preventing inherited illnesses to choosing physical and intellectual traits. The question is no longer, can we, but should we? Imagine a world where parents can choose their child's eye color, intelligence level, or even athletic ability before the baby is born. This idea, once limited to science fiction, is now becoming scientifically possible through genetic technologies. Welcome to the world of designer babies.
Designer babies are actually the child in which we are changing genetics, or we are selecting the genetics deliberately. So those genetics can be related to some disease, those can be related to some traits, physical traits like height, eye color, or skin color, hair color. So whenever we are deciding or we are changing the genetic, or we are selecting from any particular genetic embryos we have, then we call it as a designer baby.
So, what can technology do? It addresses two areas: medical traits such as removing genes that cause inherited diseases like cystic fibrosis or Huntington's disease, enhancement traits such as physical appearance, intelligence, height, or athletic abilities.
We can eliminate almost all the major diseases if you have a genetic disease in your family, like any mental retardation, any developmental anomaly, which has been found out to be genetic. If a gene has been identified for that, it can be cystic fibrosis, many unknown diseases as well, where a gene has been identified, and then you can choose your embryo in which that gene is not there, or the genetic composition of that embryo is normal. So there is a whole list of diseases which can be prevented. Whatever major diseases are there for which a genetic mutation exists and is well known, it can be prevented.
So, how are designer babies then created?
In IVF nowadays, everybody is familiar of these terms like IVF, test tube baby. So I want to make it simplify. In first of all, we stimulate a female partner of the couple and we retrieve eggs. That is done under anesthesia. It's not a without any incision. We take out eggs from the uh, ovaries and then we examine them for whether they are healthy or unhealthy. Then these eggs, they are examined and screened, and then we inject them with their partner sperm. And when the baby is formed, they are cultured outside for till day 5. That was we called as the day blastocyst. And we take out some 5 to 6 cells from them, because blastocyst is a structure with 120 to 150 cells, and we take out only 5 to 6 cells and send them to genetic lab for their testing.
The main use of designer babies today is medical. By selecting or editing embryos, doctors can reduce the risk of inherited genetic disorders such as cystic fibrosis or sickle cell anemia. Remember, a few months ago, the same technology was used to create 8 embryos. 8 children were born in the UK using genetic material from 3 people to prevent devastating and often fatal conditions, in this case, mitochondrial disease. The problem arises when parents seek to turn kids into products rather than individuals. Like when you want a baby like this, when parents choose traits, they may begin to view the child as something to be perfected rather than accepted. This undermines the unconditional love that should define parenting. The problem arises when parents want their babies to look like this, absolutely perfect. The perfect hair, fair skin, rosebud lips, light-colored eyes. When parents want their babies to be absolutely perfect like this and want to use genetic editing for this purpose, for aesthetic reasons, it raises ethical and moral questions. Imperfection is part of what makes us human. By eliminating traits deemed undesirable, society risks sending the message that some lives are more valuable than others. It's time for a quick commercial break here on the show. Much more news around health and wellness on the other side.